disconnect, out of body, in my element, nearly flying, ready to transcend. Then I hear my phone ring and it's you again. Complaining, so restraining. Won't you loosen your grip? Need space here. Solo raving, give me less of your lip and pace it. Cool it with the statements, cool it with the sensitive. But no, I still hear the tone. You must be out of your mind, blowing me up on my phone line. Why you blowing up my phone line? Call me and I'ma decline. I'm gon' decline, and I'm gon' get back on my own time. Won't lie, I'm about to leave you on silence. Out of your mind, I'm about to leave you on silence. Why you blowing up my phone line? Call me and I'ma decline. I'm gon' get back to my own time. Won't lie, I'm about to leave you on silence. Still in the party, trying to disconnect, but you gon' stop me. You won't get out my head. So cool it with the statements, cool it with the sensitive. But no, I still hear the tone. You must be out of your mind, out of your mind, blowing me up on my phone line. Why you blowing up my phone line? Call me and I'ma decline. I'm gon' decline, and I'm gon' get back in my own time. Won't lie, I'm about to leave you on silence. I'm about to leave you on silence. Why you blowing
come to me and say, well, we got this scan and recreation, we don't need you anymore, but I don't even know that that exists. And it would be indistinguishable from me. It would.
And see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
If we have algorithms that stimulate the right things and give it the right data, they could reprogram you in a way without you even knowing it. We call it hallucinating, right? But these would be controlled hallucinations run by algorithms. So you think you're in control of your own will, but it's actually some evil AI or evil people controlling everything we do, and we're more like zombies, you know? Like we think we're free and we're not actually free.
Where computers could learn enough about me, and we could scan my.
Do I look upbeat today? Just your imagination.
This isn't real. What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
If we have algorithms that stimulate the right things and give it the right data, they could reprogram you in a way without you even knowing it. We call it hallucinating, right? But these would be controlled hallucinations run by algorithms. So you think you're in control of your own will, but it's actually some evil AI or evil people controlling everything we do, and we're more like zombies, you know? Like we think we're free and we're not actually free.
Where computers could learn enough about me, and we could scan my brain from inside, sending scanners through the bloodstream, billions of them, in the form of nanorobots or nanobots, and capture every detail of my synapses and neurotransmitters, and create a virtual Ray Kurzweil in a very powerful computer. And it would be indistinguishable from me. It would pass a Ray Kurzweil Turing test. You could create a copy of me and I could still be here.
Right.
So is that the same entity as me? Well, since I might not even know that you've scanned my brain, and you come to me and say, well, we got this scan and recreation, we don't need you anymore, but I don't even know that that exists.
Targets and mind control victims have their minds linked up for life with conscious supercomputers, which
Wernher von Braun gave me the assignment of preventing the weaponization of outer space from happening. But what he said to me over and over again was that his real concern, his greatest concern, was about psychotronic weapons.
Did he discuss what those were?
No. He didn't discuss what they were, but he repeated over and over to me that this was the real concern. This is what we should really be concerned about. Those are mind-controlled weapons, mind-controlled people or technology. Very dangerous weapons. The first big speech that I gave for Wernher von Braun was in July of 1974. It was soon after I had met him, just a few months after I had met him. He gave me the assignment of speaking in Chicago at McCormick Hall to 18,000 people. The only other speech I had ever given was in a PTA meeting, and I had rehearsed that speech in the mirror the night before about mustard being squirted in the cafeteria by the children. I was so nervous. Now I was going to appear before 18,000 people. Nervous takes on a new meaning. What he said to me was, however, I'm going to send you 5 books in a taxi cab, take these pink index cards and take some notes, and you will introduce a live satellite demonstration. The Fiji Islands, some other countries, and you will tell about this live satellite demonstration. I had no idea what he was talking about. And he said, but that's not a worry either. Don't worry, you don't have to really read all of these books because I'm going to transmit the speech to you. And I said, how are you going to transmit the speech to me? You're going into the hospital. And he said, I'm going to transmit it as though you're talking on the telephone. Well, I memorized the best I could these little pink index cards, and I got up on the stage. There were 18,000 people in front of me. There was a podium with my picture on it. I had to put my hand over the screen. I had no idea what I was going to say because I couldn't see the pink index cards because I was perspiring and it was dripping down my face. When suddenly I heard in my left ear Wernher von Braun talking to me like he was talking on the telephone. I was just repeating what he was saying. But he was in a hospital down the East Coast, and I was in Chicago with nothing, no technology in my ear.
Snowden says he was astonished back then at the access he had at his fingertips, most notably including a computer program that, as he put it, could get inside your thought process.
When I think about an instance that really just struck me as, oh my God, we can do this, and that we can do it to anyone, was that people at NSA, analysts, can actually watch people's internet communications, watch them draft correspondence, and actually watch their thoughts form as they type. As you write a message, you know, an analyst at the NSA or any other service out there that's using this kind of attack against people can actually see you write sentences and then backspace over your mistakes and then change the words and then kind of pause and think about what you wanted to say and then change it. And it's this extraordinary intrusion, not just into your communications, your finished messages, but your actual drafting process, into the way you think.
Hundreds of people in the valley say they are hearing voices in their heads. Those voices are being transmitted by microwave or other methods.
Well, several viewers asked us to investigate what they call electronic harassment. KMIR6's Angela Monroe joins us now with what she's discovered.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology. Chances are you haven't heard of these terms, but after searching the internet, I found dozens of websites dedicated to the phenomenon and several Valley residents who say they're victims.
How much money paid me than to go into it? It sounds like somebody else is reading the book, only it's thoughts.
We're not having a group hallucination.
You will be joining a lecture from Professor Anthony Sutton. Professor Sutton served at the Hoover Institute, and he was far ahead of his time, and he was actually trying to tell the public about things that may have been above and beyond their abilities to comprehend. But in this particular video, Professor Sutton will talk about what are called psychotronic weapons. That is the use of frequencies to manipulate people. And they're going to talk a little bit first and then play a video. So this is kind of just a video of the video to let you know that frequencies can manipulate people, and you may not even be aware that these frequencies are in the air and that they're entering into you. You could see my video on what's the frequency, handsome. I'd rather not say. Join Professor Sutton in this lecture experience.
What I'd like to do is to get on with a subject that you've been most involved in since you've done all these things that we've been discussing, and that is psychotronics. I'd like to show you a video clip on Soviet psychotronics and ask for your comment, and we'll take off into that area.
But in the Soviet Union, a radio frequency, or RF device, has been used for over...
Here it is, September 1988. It is the start of the fall semester at the University of California, Davis, where Cheryl Welch is beginning life as a law student.
I grew up in Sacramento, California. I was a receptionist at Kaiser Hospital for 10 years. I decided that I wanted to go back to school, so I went to UC Davis.
But as her studies get underway, things change.
I know what normal life is, and life became
Dr. Robert Duncan put together the technology that allows the government to transfer thoughts and voices into the heads of Americans.
Dr. Robert Duncan.
First question for you. What's the name? I've empowered the dark side. Technology is
It's good to be here. My name is Steve Hoffman, but in Silicon Valley they call me Captain Hoff. That is my nickname. I am the captain of Founderspace, and Founderspace is an incubator and accelerator. It went black. Here we go. Yeah, an incubator and accelerator that works all over the world. So I spend 70% of my time traveling the globe looking at new technology. We have over 50 partners in 22 countries. And Founderspace has been rated by Forbes magazine as the #1 accelerator for overseas startups. It knew how to get the food right away. It didn't have to learn anything. The knowledge was transferred from one brain, or here learning at Seed, right? Getting EMBAs and MBAs. Well, this will be obsolete because Seed will literally actually be anywhere at any time that any other person or any other device is getting sensory.
Hi, good people. It's Sherry. I would like to, I have some free and valuable information for you as usual. And this time, I would like to speak with you about a very important subject. And it is called EEG heterodyning, also known as cloning. And I would like to talk with you about what this actually is, briefly. Pretty simple, and once you put it into layman's terms. And then I would like to speak about how this capability is being criminalized and people from the general population are being broadcasted into after having their brain signature heterodyned or cloned. Okay? That's what I'm going to talk about.
Put these earphones in and then I'm trying to do a series of tests. So I'm now hearing some whispers and voices in my head. First test is number public.
You suck and they know it. Can't you get this right?
Okay, so I did this test for 3 minutes and I did not get a single one. It's very hard to concentrate when, if it's like music or something constant, it's easy, but people talking to you is very difficult. So now I'm going to be asked a series of questions by our producer, Susan.
We slice that to what we can be sensitive to. What seems to be the case is that as soon as we assume, computational boundedness, single thread of time, that leads us to general relativity. In other words, we can't avoid that. That's the way that we will parse the universe. Given those constraints, we parse the universe according to those particular, in such a way that we say the aggregate reducible pocket of computational reducibility that we slice out of it out of whole computationally reducible portion of behavior is just this one that corresponds to general relativity.
Yeah, but we don't perceive general relativity.
How can I love when I am afraid?
city, so we'll see you.
You'll be our special guest today.
That's a great example.
I would actually like to hear what Magnus has to say about it. Are you with us, Magnus?
Yes, I'm with you. About my lecture, I was asked to hold a lecture in this frightening subject, and of course I said yes.
It's like a lucid dream but using an XR Dreamscape Mix Cascade engine, and the brain is the like EGPC monitor with these imaginatory set of BCNI goggles the perps put onto you when they connect to you. It's mind and imagination controlled by the operators, and they can use heterodyning to copy anyone's colors and manipulate. They can reinduce and also syntactically synthesized signals of patterns and samples of recorded as well as dynamically and interactively generated samples. They can induce impressions, synthesized ones, or recorded ones also of other people. It would be a cool technology if it was not abused that bad, and sadly. Let's keep up informing people and gaining publicity to the topic. Information protects. WikiLeaks knows it already, the UN and FBI too. The CIA seems pointing to Russia, but is for absolutely sure doing it itself as well. Let's heads up, be strong, and win. We celeb a second B-Day. It seems so realistic as in a dreamscape resolution blended into the perception because whole spectrum of senses is available to be played on and project onto psychotronic brain-computer neurofeedback interface fake perception layers, like visual, smell, taste, warm and cold, audio, haptics. Also body control. You have to understand this, the real perps are sorts of operators at an psychotronic generator. It like a high-tech radio, and not the pedestrians or people you may think or believe or feel the perps are. The operator perps are in facilities like Army centers. They do the whole hoax using psychotronics by being connected to your brain by wireless TMS, wireless transcranial magnetic stimulation. It is so to say, the opposite of an EEG, which is wireless also in the form of RNM. Remote neural monitoring. They can send you any signal containing impressions, feelings, sound, vision, body movement, really everything plus synthetic pseudo-feelings, dynamically, and interactive. One single real perp operator in like an army center is enough to insinuate the whole hoax.
Thank you for being here today. This is a really special event.
They use the absurd and occult and arcane code of conduct and lead the world into nonsense beliefs of what once Illuminati was meaning, e.g. The PPL who were enlightened didn't use that word, and in short enlightenment meant that everyone carries it in oneself, that truth leads to trust, and trust to love, all best without violence, force nor totality. If you don't know what to do, try it with your truth. It may lead to trust in your listener and that the basis for love. Arthur was truth, Isolde love, the Eddas, the Upanishads, Parsifal, Romeo and Juliet, Arthur and the Champions, Alls is this same holy grail, truth, trust, love. Arthur was born on Enisola, Her Highness, the immortal evergreen. Happy is who spreads peace, BCS these will be children of good, peace, love, luck and happiness.
I will be brave. I will not let anything take away. Standing in front of me, every breath, every hour has come I every day waiting for you, darling. Don't be afraid. I love
I believe it was in 1987 when I saw TR3 covering the United States of America's Army's military authority defines voice-to-skull 2K devices as follows. Voice-to-skull devices. Non-lethal weapons, which includes one, a neuroelectromagnetic device which uses microwave transmission of sound into the skull of persons or animals by way of pulse-modulated microwave radiation, and 2, a silent sound device which can transmit sound into the skull of persons or animals. Note: the sound modulation may be voice or audio subliminal messages. Acronym: V2K. Source: http: obsolete. Army.mil. 0001625.htm, obsolete. If you are a victim and want your report listed here, feel free to email your report to obsolete